Welcome, everybody, to the Fantasy Football Journeymen podcast.
You better be praying to God because, you're 14 and losses in a row. You're going to need Jesus.
Am I wrong?
I thought you were pretty wrong, yeah.
Okay, welcome to a Friday football extravaganza. We are operating a little bit differently today. We normally have Aaron do the count-in, our producer extraordinaire, but he is unfortunately preoccupied today with some other stuff. We have a nice extra guest here as well. So, Bobby, I'm going to open it up to you. Any ideas about an intro now that, we're going to have to think of our own stuff going forward, so.
Yeah, I suppose just maybe bringing apart a little bit of what got us to this point, maybe a little recap of what we're trying to maybe explain in our podcast.
All right, well, how about we do this, Bobby? How about you give us just a little synopsis about what the podcast is about? What can people expect watching?
All right, this is a
football
Friday after Thanksgiving
Journeyman
podcast, in which
it's called
Friday
the Fantasy Football Journeyman podcast. There we go.
Fantasy Football Journeyman presents Joe Dom, a guest star from Chicago, who lives literally about 10 minutes away. We're going to be talking about Miami. We're going to talk about IRs. We're going to be talking about fantasy-based questions. But what really boils down to is what we want to do, or I guess how to structure our teams as we make our way to the playoffs, because playoffs are in the next couple of weeks. So it's important to focus a little bit on that. I know you're not going to be in many, but I'll express to you what, being in the playoffs feels like. Exactly. Okay. So that's going to be the subject for today's discussion. Go ahead.
Okay. I do. You know what? I do like the intro, except for the last 10, you fuck. No, it is good. We do have to think of some other intros again, because Aaron's just not going to be around all the time.
I know, I miss his intros.
And so, we'll have to figure it out here. A couple things I do want to just mention up on the top here, though, is that one, we are missing, obviously, the other original, one of the original
Fantasy
three,
Journeyman,
Ryan. Ryan is not in attendance here. He's got to work today. That sucks. But we will, and we did tease on the last one that we were going to do a Prisoners kind of rewatch summary, the movie The Prisoners from 2013, Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal. We will do that on the next one, so obviously people stick with it because that's going to be a great segment. I'm already know this. So in Ryan's stead, we got Sir Joseph.
He looks like a trainer for the Chicago Bears. Look at this setup.
Yeah.
It looks
but
great.
Hey, let's be real. Strength and conditioning. He's not He's not head coach material in those.
I don't know, man. The way the Bears have been totally stepping on their own feet, I'd give him a chance at it.
Yeah, fair point.
How do you lose that week? How? You guys are up like 17 and you blow it.
Yeah, I think what did they say? There was like a stat of like this was literally the first time it ever happened in history where a team had 40 minutes of possession time, 3 turnovers and a lead, and they still lost.
You could have just taken a knee, maybe just run the ball and fall forward. That's all you have to do. Just burn the clock.
You're talking about the water boy approach.
I don't care. Yeah, exactly. You got to get the win. Get the win. I don't care how you do it.
Punt. All right. So as we're getting into let's get into some real down and dirty about the football here. So today's game is Miami Jets. Joe will just run through picks right here, and then we'll also run through picks of like the remaining games of the week.
Sure.
So I'm going to take Miami. Joe, what you got?
Oh, Miami for sure.
Miami. I don't think the Jets scored a touchdown in the past 30 quarters.
Yeah, let's tell it like it is. The Jets are rivaling with the Bears of a dumpster fire. They got another win, I think. I think they're 4-7 or 4-6 or something like that. But, dude, this is something that was wild. So did you guys see that Zach Wilson, when he got benched, so he got benched for this week, he didn't get benched to the second. He's benched to the third string. Like, do you guys ever remember that happening? Like, if a quarterback is like, hey, you're not doing well, we're going with somebody else this week. Usually they're the backup, but he's he's third string. He's not going to be in the game unless catastrophic injuries happen.
He hasn't been showing the type of, and maybe I understand the decision on, from the coaches or from the management of the team, but he hasn't been showing the proper checkdowns, the proper cadence, the proper, steps needed to be a quarterback in the NFL. And if it takes you dropping down a few pegs or slots, then That's what it's got to be. You're not showing the development. He's had time to show development. Have you seen any development? Because I haven't. Joe, thoughts?
Yeah, what's your opinion of Zach Wilson?
I mean, when you get down to it, I think when you get into the game, depth chart, what they have to throw out there, honestly doesn't mean anything. Maybe it's more of a symbolic thing, like, look, man, we're dropping you to 3.
Fair point.
Game goes on. All of a sudden, there's struggles, and he's the first one coming off the bench. I think that third string is more of maybe a motivator. They're trying to be like, look, this is where we think you are, is kind of put a little fire in his ass. But
sure,
I don't think the third string, I don't think the depth charts really garner that much importance.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I don't really think that it's a thing either way of like really to read into it. Like the analysts and all these other publications like come out and they're like, oh, well, this means X, Y, and Z. You know what it means? It means that Zach Wilson's not going to be on the Jets next year. Let's call it like it is.
Sure.
He's either getting cut, traded.
I think he'll still be in the league, but he'll be a backup for someone else, maybe like the Texans or something, something like that.
I mean, yeah, who knows where he goes.
He's lost a lot of stock the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
To say that.
No, I mean, again, and this is the thing, is that he wasn't meant to be the Jets quarterback going into the season. They had Rodgers goes down 4th play of the year. Obviously, you can't prepare for that, right? So...
yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel for a guy who's like, hey, you're just like, hey, like you kind of had the team the last year, I think, was like, hey, this is Zach Wilson's team. He's the guy. And
he showed at least some spirit in that year. I mean, there seemed to be some bursts of, potential, but yeah, no, I'm not seeing it right now.
I got you. So I also do want to make a quick mention before we get on to the rest of the picks here. So we are watching the Hawks game here.
Yes.
It is going to, we're going to talk about a little bit of betting in just a little bit here, but I'm just going to mention it real quick up top. I want your 10-second thoughts. I mean, what do you think of the Hawks this year so far?
Team, not so great, but was kind of expected. We did have my brother and I got a chance. We went last Thursday to the game and sat pretty much on the boards and watching Bedard, watching the supposed future.
Right,
it was awesome. It's definitely hopeful. Last couple games, I mean, they just haven't been playing great as a team, but again, that was expected. So I'm hopeful though. In the next couple years, they continue to build.
Bobby,
it'll be fun.
Yeah, compared to last year and the year prior, I mean, the only direction you can go is up. So, like I said, I'm hopeful. I don't think that we'll be playoff caliber, but I think we could be upsetters. I think that we could definitely show up for some of these better suited teams and put them down. So
yeah,
we'll
I don't think that we're winning the Stanley Cup this year, but I think it's going to be at least a stepping stone to the next couple of years here. All right, so I'm going to just rattle off a couple of the remaining games here, and then we will.
I like our pick'ems. Yeah, pick'ems this week. Let's go.
Right, so
Green Bay pulling off the win. Let's go.
Also, want to mention that Bobby forgot to put in his confidence pool.
I did. I thought it started at noon, and I was texting him at 11:38. I'm like, "What's going on?" I'm trying because I know. Okay. Granted, I would have picked the Packers, but they would be down at the very bare minimum. But everyone else went nuts on the frickin', and I understand because
on the Lions.
Logically, the Lions should have just stepped on us. But that would really put me in a good position this week if I didn't text him at 11:38. Can I just manually give it? And he's like, no.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you miss it, you miss it.
You miss.
All right, so remaining games: New Orleans, Atlanta. Shot out of a cannon. Just going down the line. Joe first.
New Orleans.
Nola.
Pittsburgh, Cincinnati.
Pittsburgh.
I don't love it, but you got to go Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
Carolina, Tennessee in a dog shit game.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Don't care.
Tennessee, I guess. Tampa Bay, Indianapolis.
Tampa.
Indy.
I'm going Tampa. New England and New York Giants.
Giants.
You know what? Giants, too. I like Giants.
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go New England.
Okay.
Even though I kind of think that Belichick is tanking purposefully so I can get some better picks.
When is he going to retire, though? He has nothing more to give to the NFL if he says, hey, I'm done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, he's put in his time for sure. He could retire at any point, and he's still going to go into the Hall of Fame. But
absolutely.
I think you want to go out on a high note, no?
I don't know, man. I think he sold his soul to the devil already, so that's just my own.
Sorry,
that's my own.
Sorry, let me also preface this or clarify by saying high note as in let's get a winning season to go on. You don't need to win the Super Bowl, but 2-9 or whatever the fuck they're at right now.
Can I transition this? This is the Bulls during the 90s was coach for the Bulls.
Jackson?
In the night, Phil Jackson?
Yeah. He didn't go out on a bang. They brought him back to the Knicks, and they just imploded. So it's like...
Well, to be fair, as you're saying that he went to the Knicks after he went to the...
After he retired,
no, after he went to the Los Angeles Lakers. He won a couple of champs with the Lakers.
That's true. You know what? That's true.
Then he went to the Knicks, and you're right.
But
he went on
the
a bad
Lakers,
note. Right.
man. I don't know. It's just you owe nothing more to the sport. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Okay, so we got. I do like that little divergent though into Bulls.
Yeah.
No, I like it. I love talking Bulls. Jacksonville, Houston.
I got Houston.
Jacksonville.
Cleveland, Denver.
Cleveland.
I'm gonna go Denver on an upset.
I think I like Denver on the upset.
It's at home, right? It's at Denver. I'm almost
yes,
positive.
it is. I might take Denver as well, just because I think those odds got to be pretty good. Cleveland is, again, it's a good defense, but their offense is like they got a rookie or some shit like that as the quarterback.
Right.
So it could be a good upset. Denver, Los Angeles Rams at Arizona.
Ooh, Arizona.
I'm going Rams. They got Stafford back.
I'm going Arizona. Kansas City, Las Vegas. I think we all got Kansas City there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Buffalo, Philly.
Philly.
I would
all day.
Philly.
I want to take Buffalo, but I don't think I
They
just
can't
got
close.
Buffalo has not turnover city, man. Call that Buffalo. That's what it is. Turnover city, and they have the talent. Now, do they have the most robust wide receivers? No, they don't. Do they have the best backfield? No, they don't. But they have enough ammo in their cachet to be a winning team. But they just keep on messing up left and right, and we're upset because Maple Leafs just put 2 goals on us real quick in the second.
And within 4 minutes.
Yeah.
No, I want to believe in Buffalo, but I think, and I've told a lot of different people this though, is that like Buffalo had like a solid 3-year window where I thought they were going to win a ship.
You nailed
and
it.
they kept hitting Kansas City in the playoffs, and Kansas City was just a better team at that time. And I hate to say it though, is like Buffalo is just on the edge of like, this is not a good year. The next year, you're going to see changes. Probably Stephon Diggs, I would assume, wants
I think
out.
he's on his way out. Yeah,
It's going to be a completely different Buffalo team next year, which sucks because I wish
we wanted them to do well. Like everyone likes Buffalo. I mean,
no.
I don't know.
Like
I think that's an overgeneralization.
I know, but I feel bad because Dallas stomped on them hard with Kelly. I want to see them win.
That's where I'm at. Is that like that would have been cool to see Buffalo come back, get
Joe
a
shaking his head.
championship.
He's like, no, they deserve every
Joe
moment.
says Joe hates Buffalo, but he does
Fuck
love
the Northeast.
But he does like Buffalo wings. Moving on. All right, so Baltimore at Los Angeles Chargers.
Baltimore's going to just run
Baltimore.
on them.
Yeah, Baltimore. And then last game of the weekend is Chicago at Minnesota on Monday night.
I'm going Minnesota and Dobbs, baby.
Chicago's actually going to pull that one off. Fields is going to have a day.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty confident. We'll talk about this a little bit more in the next segment, but I'm pretty confident Jefferson is not coming back because they have a bye the next week. So I think, Josh Dobbs, everybody knows now that Josh Dobbs can run the ball. Put a QB spy on him, and I think you'll be all right. I think Chicago takes it. But we'll see. Chicago's still a dumpster fire. We all know this here. But as we're kind of getting over to the next spot here, Bobby, I'm going to have you hit me with your Bobby's bets. Joe, you just have the one on the Bedard game going right now, right?
Yeah, for today. I had some yesterday, but obviously those are
So
over.
I got 2 going, and I know them off the top of my head. I need Miami to win by a touchdown, so 6.5 point spread, and then I have Tyreek Hill for 70 yards. And that's a combination. It's a 4-leg parlay, and I already got the other 2 from the San Fran game, so already good there. I had San Fran by 10.5 for the spread, and then I had Ayuk for a touchdown, and he pulled that one off in the second half. Anyway, my other one is Mostert for 40 yards, Waddle for, I think, 50 yards in the air, and it was a 3-leg parlay, and Hill with a touchdown. So I think I'm going to win that one. I really do. The payout's not great, but it's enough. It's a free bet.
Okay. I literally was doing all the setup here, so I didn't put any bets in for today's game. But I'm doing it right now. So We're going to just shot out of a cannon. I'm sure I'm going to fucking lose this one.
Let Joe do his bets, though, real quick.
But yeah, no, I'm sorry. I thought we still had...
Not even... I have one. I got a 4-legger with some over-unders and some outrights for the NFL.
Just
but
give me something.
I definitely picked the over for the Houston-Jacksonville game.
Oh, yeah.
I think
that's going to be 60 points.
Jacksonville
at least,
finally... I mean, hopefully last week wasn't a fluke, but after a couple of weeks of rough outings from Ridley, finally did something. So I'm picking the over on that one. But honestly, I can't remember what I paired with it. It was...
That's okay.
I threw a bunch in yesterday, so just kind of throwing it in there. Like, dude, pick this, pick that. If it hits, it hits.
Dude, at this point, dude, some of that randomness pays out. Like, we've been seeing it with some of our other friend group and our golf group with your brother and with all those guys. These guys are sending us screenshots of, like, a 12-leg parlay, but it's just like, boom, hits, boom, hits. It's like some of these things, I mean, you take the safer approach, but then, some of these other ones, they go heavy on, just randomness, and it works out, so... Dallas put a freaking pounding to Washington. We knew that, but it was just that first half was competitive. Second half, totally different game.
Yeah, I mean that was a real shame. Oh, and in perfect timing, we have the pizza coming that we ordered. I did also want to mention here that we are without our buffalo dip because we knew that we were ordering pizza here. So,
you want me to go get it, or are we going to take a quick
break?
No,
you go get it.
All right.
We'll hold down the fort, and then we'll figure out, I guess, what to do. We're not professional here, Joe. I think that's that's without a statement here. I am going to put my bet in. I'm going to put my bet in over the break, and then when we eventually do come back, I will regale you guys with what that's going to be here. But let's switch gears, Joe. Let's talk about... fantasy kind of implications of, you got anybody? I mean, obviously we're kind of in the Friday game in between. I don't think a whole lot of people have, like, I have Raheem Mostert going for me. I would like him to have a good game, but
Well, I mean, I got the multiple leagues going, so I've got, Waddle in a league, Tua, I got Waddle in the second league. They all kind of blend together after a while.
Well, let's do this. Like, how many leagues are you in?
So I got the 3. One I'm pretty much in playoffs already. One I'm pretty much out. And the other one I'm right on the edge. So kind of giving up in 2 of those leagues because for the next 3 weeks doesn't matter, and the league we're in.
Yeah, no, me and you are definitely in it.
Yeah, so it's back and forth. It's one of those double-edged swords. I keep thinking about not doing 3. I was focusing on 1 or 2 because halfway through you're kind of done with the other league anyways. It's a lot. Players start to blend together. Oh, I got this player on this team. Oh, nope, that's
it's
in the
tough.
other league.
After 3, man,
you always forget.
It becomes, I think, just
I think
pong.
my goal would be, if it could be, because this is my main bugaboo with just fantasy leagues in general, is that at a certain point there are people in each league that they just don't care anymore, and they stop setting lineups, they stop trying to make a somebody win, and that's where I really like to just be I love to play spoiler. Right now in one league I'm 2-9 or something like that.
You still want to hurt.
I'm trying to
chances.
win still, so that somebody is this guy beat me, and that's how I missed the playoffs. I'm yeah, that's right. So I always want teams to just keep playing. That's why we had to kick people out of our 3 penis wine league a couple times here.
I love the name of the league.
Oh, it's fucking so good. But again, I would like to get it down closer. I really just don't think that I'm always gonna be in probably 3 to 4. I think it's gonna be until the end of time, just for me. But so Bobby,
hold on. Does that bother you if you're in 3 or 4 leagues and you have the same type of draft, where you are in the draft? That would piss me off if you're number 4 in 3 of your leagues, because then you almost force yourself to pick different players, because why would you want to double stack or triple stack? I'm going to get blah, blah, blah across all 4 of them. That would kill me a little bit.
No, I really do think that you make a valid point here, but I think you're overlooking the fact that in each of the 3 or 4 leagues, the people that are above you or ahead of you, their priorities are different in each league. So
I get that, but those same individuals are relatively available to you. I'm just saying, for me, if I was in 3 leagues, I want to be second 7th and like 12th or something. I want it to be totally different. So I have different guys that I'm, riding on each week rather than, the same type. And then, it's a feast or famine.
Right. You want some diversity in your selection. So like in your picks, I totally get that.
Yeah.
I just think that you can really make a point in any league to really go after like, hey, I want, aside from, again, the main guys like Justin Jefferson or McCaffrey, they pretty much went 1-2 every league.
McCaffrey's been doing great. Love it.
But like I would say probably 4 to 8 were probably kind of interchangeable there. So you could really have if you had 4 in every single league, you could probably get the same guy. I just look at that as that is a awful strategy because that guy goes down, boom.
I want
3 teams implode.
I want Joe's thought on this.
Yeah, go.
Double bubble. Would you pick up a quarterback and a running back or quarterback and a key wide receiver from the same team? In your league, do you like good, or is that something positive or something to avoid?
Are you talking double dip instead? You said
I call it double bubble. Same thing.
Double dip. I think the majority of fantasy.
Right, whatever.
You tell us.
I like double bubble. It sounds better. No, but what's your thoughts on that?
No, I always try to look for. Well, I mean, I usually don't take quarterbacks until quite a bit later, as just it's always been kind of a standard that's worked for me. But no, I always try to find a quarterback who may not necessarily be on the best team putting up numbers, but a quarterback that is going to be slinging and try to get their target. Like I got, like I said, Tua and Waddle. I know Tyreek's the number 1, but
Waddle, yeah,
Tua's going to sling it enough that they're both going to feast.
Okay, that's fair. I was just curious because I try to avoid the QB, main wide receiver. I don't know why. I'm not sure if there's stats to support that, but I always try to make it so if those pair have a bad day, it's like I'm not going to be hurt. So I always try to, I guess, diversify. But sometimes my brother won a championship because he had Russell Wilson and Marshawn Lynch. So there's that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, they can definitely, again, help you if the double dip goes in your favor. I just look at it as like having 3 of the same player. Like, honestly, Raheem Mostert has been awesome in all of my leagues because he's played
him too.
And he's been doing great. But if that guy goes down in 3 leagues, I'm
hurting.
Fucked. I got to find another guy.
And we're going to talk about the IR report because that's something that, we'll get to that.
Coming up.
Yeah, coming up in our next segment.
But we're gonna wrap it up here. A couple last part that I like to do, and now we have a new kind of fresh mentality here of state of the Bears, state of the Packers is kind of a mainstay that we do. So Joe, I'm gonna open it up to you first. Just general thoughts, like right now, what do you see from the Bears? What do you want to see in the next couple games? Just give us a kind of just a general kind of what you feeling.
The main thing I see is Marvin Harrison Jr. Rocking the orange and blue next year.
Sweet.
That's kind of where my eyes go already is to the future. Currently, I mean, Fields coming back is hopefully he watched Bagent a little bit and learned like, all right, I don't have to do the deep ball or run. I can, check down. He started to show it a little bit last game. Hopefully he continues that. But like many Chicago teams, they keep showing signs of greatness, so you never quite fold on them. There's always that little bit of hope because they had this one play or they had this, one game that keeps you going. So they are bittersweet. You see like 39-yard dot to DJ Moore last week was perfect. But then you watch them implode in the 4th. And so they are what they are. They're a 3-4 win team.
Got the bet in. Okay.
There we go.
Woo! I'm a degenerate. All right. A lot of pointing to the camera in the first section, but whatever.
No, it's good.
No, Joe.
Spike
I do want to kind of agree with you on at least a couple points there. Is that the Bears are like, I feel like we're kind of saying the same thing of like they are what they are. Like week to week, I'm like, oh, there's some signs there, and then it's like, what the hell was that? Like that's a JV team out there on certain weeks. I'm kind of again in the same mind frame of like if we can get a Marvin Harrison Jr. Hell yeah. Marvin Harrison Jr. That would be dope. I doubt that he, just in the way that the Bears will do this inevitably, is like they'll win week 17 or some shit, and that'll put us back far enough that the team that really like needs a wide receiver ends up, getting him or whatever. I don't want to hope for him now, and then like at the end of the season, Bears win 2 games at the end, and then like catapult them out of that.
Maybe got Carolina.
Carolina is just a dumpster fire.
Pick.
Yeah,
we have the Carolina pick, but I thought that it was.
You need
if they. I guess if they
continue to win.
No, we want Carolina to lose.
Why?
So Carolina, we have Carolina's next.
You're right. You're right.
First pick in the draft.
But I guess
just tell them to keep doing what they're doing. Don't worry. It's safe bet.
I could extrapolate to the Bears or Carolina. Whatever you're hoping is going to happen, it's not. Carolina's going to win 2 games at the end. Screw you out of the pick. So I'm not until we get to the draft day and then Marvin Harrison Jr. is available. Then I'm all in and all that stuff. But we'll switch gears here. Bobby, I'll get you like 2 minutes to give me.
I'll be real quick with
where
it.
are the Packers at right now after a good
I'm excited
Thanksgiving
about the win. I don't think that was a fumble by Goff for the first quarter where they, went pick 6 with their, Regardless, though, it showed a lot. I think it was more of a demonstration of the Detroit Lions being a fraud than the Packers having a great outing, because they had a good outing. They had some explosive plays. They were able to keep them in check and drive the score up. We've never been, I think, close to 30 points all season, outside of maybe week 1 and week 2. But I have a question for you guys. It'll be a yes/no. Do you think the Packers sweep the Bears 2-0 this season? We already got the first win. Do you think we're going to spank you again in the next couple of weeks?
Okay. Well, you added in spank. I don't think that they're there.
We did the first week.
No, that's fine. But the question was, do you think that they'll sweep them? And I do think yes. I think there's a yes that they. This is the crazy thing is that like A.J. Dillon, that's his name, right?
Dillon,
yeah. Mm-hmm. That guy is a tank, and I think that you could easily ride him into maybe a wild card spot or something like that. If they take another game or two, because you still play Minnesota, right?
We have to play Minnesota and the Bears one more time, I think.
And do you have another game, though, against Detroit? Or
I don't believe so. I thought that was the second one.
Okay. Either way. I'm just saying that there's still enough time that Minnesota I don't see as a lock for like a wild card spot. So I still open it up. And if the problem with the NFC is that is that Bedard?
No. But
dang.
Still in.
Yeah, Hawks scored, though. But I just see it as there's still a lot of time for teams to go up and down. Obviously, the Bears aren't fucking making the playoffs, but Packers are at least in a position with this win.
I didn't expect them to be in this position, though.
That you could maybe see them going on a streak, getting a couple things. Jordan Love seems to be playing a little bit better. But, again, we'll see. So that's going to take it for the first segment here. Hawks are making it a game. I like that. I got my bets in. Don't worry. I'll tell you about that coming up later. And we got some good stuff coming up, though. I'm pretty excited. And we'll see you now or see you at another time. Or we will see you in just a few minutes.
Almost, yeah. That was an almost good.
You know what? The landing, I'll
Brutal.
take it.
Brutal.
Brutal.
All right, guys. We'll see you in a bit.
Peace. Back to Fantasy Football Journeymen podcast for segment numero 2. We've been talking about this off screen a little bit here because all 3 of us went to ISU, Illinois State, Greenwich University.
Redbird.
Bobby, when'd you graduate?
2010.
Wait, what? Of college?
Yeah.
Okay, because we were what, 14?
Well, I was there an extra semester.
You were, but
So
still,
15.
you graduated in
And I was there
December.
another year. December 15.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Either way, we all
I
graduated.
switched majors. So
Waddle.
Sir Joseph and I roomed together at the drug den.
Dude, I don't even know if you can call that a house. Okay, just to give everyone an idea, the cinder block setup you have in all those elementary schools, put that in a basement that's like 20 feet below ground, and it had the same vibe as like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And you're upstairs. I'm not sure how it wasn't condemned. I'll just say it. I visited there. I'm surprised that people could live there.
I had carpet on the ceiling of the bathroom.
Dude, it was,
You had carpet in your kitchen on the ceiling. That's gross as hell.
No, kitchen we were clean.
No,
whatever.
Kitchen, there wasn't any carpet, but there was. I mean, it was built in the 60s or 70s or something like that. No, maybe like 50s, 60s. But it was just a disgusting house. I mean, does anybody's college house like Bobby? Yours was like a pillar of,
It wasn't great, but it was better than that.
Well, so it wasn't great. Let's just call it what it was. I think people overreact to that though a little too much, and they say that ours was the worst. I'm like, I'm sure there was a worse one. Where were they doing crap?
Hold on, what's the name of the building? Because for junior year, I lived right near the McDonald's on Main and 707 Liquor right near the.
You were at Junction.
Oh, you were at Junction, which is now
right, which is now called what?
What?
Well, it was the Edge.
The Edge.
Then it became Junction because my sister lived there, and then I also lived there. So,
okay.
Yeah, we all lived in the same place too.
Yeah.
Great. Wow, another pick. Okay, just a brief update on the game. Miami 10-6 over the Jets with Jets just
going into halftime.
2 picks. Just such a defensive battle.
Are we going to talk about Uncle Tom's?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
In ISU, dude, the pancake joint, Uncle Tom's Pancakes were
Pancake House. Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, it's kind of right near the interstate. So good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Oh man. I mean, we
had a sassy waitress there too. It was great.
She's sassy, old school.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember I lived on the corner of, I think that was Locust and Main, like right in the corner.
Yeah.
And that place was like perfect location. Like anything down Locust just went to parties all down that place. I mean, we're walking down memory lane pretty much.
Yeah, we are. And we had Mulligan's.
Sure.
Mulligan's was always good. Or Fat Jack's.
Dude, Pub 2.
Pub 2.
You can't not mention Pub 2. Some cheese balls and a $4 pitcher of beer. Those were the days. Tim Boyle.
Ooh, return it.
Oh, Joe's got Miami's D. Oh, shit.
Return it.
Oh, my God.
Return it, baby.
Go.
Give me that garbage. Give me it.
Go.
Give me it.
Go. Oh, he's got to beat the
One to
kicker.
beat.
Oh.
Get in
No
there.
way. No effing way.
Oh.
Miami D
we
up to
just watched
21.
a 100-yard interception return.
At the end of the half.
Oh, my God. My under's now hurt a little bit. Jeez.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
That was money.
I don't think I've ever seen end of the half.
Do
intercept
they get to
100.
kick an extra point or no?
Yeah.
They should, yeah, with no
Okay.
time. No time on the clock.
Oh, my God. You should have just took a knee. Are you kidding me? That's
Huge.
Dude, that was wild.
No, I mean that's when you don't blame it on the quarterback. You don't blame it on the receivers. You throw it up there and you hope it. I mean, it's Hail Mary. You know,
I get that.
It's a play that you have to make, but somebody make a goddamn tackle really is. I mean, 65
bad angle.
Bad angle on someone much faster than you.
But as we're talking about ISU, though, I do love, though, that was the start of our Turkey Bowl. We were talking about the annual football game that you would play. Then afterwards, you go drink some beers, eat some pizza, watch some college football. Usually was always on. We did it on a Saturday.
Yeah.
But when did Bobby? Did you ever have a Turkey Bowl with like your friends?
Yeah, for a little while, but we always had our family one growing up, so that was always fun. But after,
wait, when did your family one start?
our family since
Before
since
us.
ever since.
Shit.
It was always a good time. We had the older cousins, the young people. It was just from everyone. Our uncles played, so you had some guys out there in their 40s trying to sling it, and then
I love
your 10-year-old cousin who's we'll throw to on the edge just to get him involved. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, the Wojciech one, that also started before I was born. It sadly has ended now because all of the older men are older men. It just happens.
Yeah.
But, Turkey Bowl, unfortunately, man, some of them, they just unfortunately fizzle out. It's a unfortunately annoying thing that, like, I know, like, our group, the one that started in college, like, nobody plays anymore. Nobody tries to get together like for that, which I understand. It makes you sore after. We're all old men.
Well, and we have half of us live downtown now.
Yeah.
Some of us are out of state. I mean,
Our
we
parents,
we grew up
got
and
their own kids.
we
Yeah,
grew up and we got jobs, and the honeymoon phase is over there. We actually had to go do stuff. And
Well,
live.
yeah, I think it's more scheduling. If I'm being honest, like people got kids, families, shit like that. It is a thing where it's like it is difficult to get 10 guys, 12 guys together on a Saturday. Any Saturday. But no, dude, I love the Turkey Bowl. I love the camaraderie. I love the injuries that unfortunately come with it. If anybody can see, I got a nice little shiner there from Sir Robert Williams. Shout out. He punched me in the face trying to get the ball on a catch. It was good stuff. Football, baby. I love it. I'm just talking about my injuries. Like, hey, I got this one. Sorry, I amused myself.
No. I remember. I think a few years back, I think pulled either a hamstring or my knee. It was just after a quarter or two of playing. I was like, yeah, I'm done. Just like that. Yeah.
Yo, dude, it feels like that was the unfortunate ending of your turkey bowl, and then I think you kind of made the decision right there. You were like, it's over.
Yeah, no, it's my last hurrah, I guess.
Yeah, you're riding off or walking into the sunset,
stumbling.
You still
swearing towards the sideline. God fucking damn it,
dude! I feel like you still enjoyed a couple soda pops after that.
Yeah.
I think that eased the pain.
That'd dull the pain
quite a bit. I do want to give a quick update because I, again, was setting up stuff. Admittedly, didn't get my bet in. I do want to throw it out there, though. Now that we're at halftime, I do kind of want to get your guys' opinions of, do you think this will hit in the second half just because I guess it's possible. Still a whole half of football to happen. So we have Tim Boyle, Jets quarterback, over 160 yards passing. Just quick, yes.
I don't see it happening.
No.
What's he at?
No.
35.
He's at 30-something, right?
I don't see it happening.
No.
Shit. Okay. Good start. Brees Hall, over 50.5 rushing. He's at 17.
I think over 40.
Good stuff.
You're wincing at all.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah.
All right.
Well,
No, but I could see him break out a big run, so maybe.
All right. Tyler Conklin, 20-plus yards receiving. He's at 8.
Maybe.
that one will hit.
That one will
Maybe.
hit. Garrett Wilson, 5-plus receptions.
Yes.
He's at 2.
I think yes. They're going to have to move to him.
And then Raheem the Dream, over 60.5 rushing yards. He's at 15.
Yeah, he's not getting 60. You could get him for 40, not 60.
Okay. Yeah, it's...
He might be vulturing you a touchdown.
Yeah, I think every one of your guys' decisions there is pretty much...
I can't believe they...
You're right on. I was like...
I can't believe they allowed this to happen 100 yards. And I don't think anyone put a hand on him.
I mean, usually the only time you see a 100-yard pick is on your goal line, quick slant or something like that, and there's no one behind him. This guy had to run 50 yards before he even got to the offensive lineman.
Yeah, dude.
And they just couldn't just corral him towards the sideline there.
Yeah, create
form a wall and just kind of.
Yeah, just.
It's almost feel like you should be practicing that. Like, hey, what happens if you get a long interception and you're long ways between
offenses got to be prepared to stop and make tackles.
Well, let's be real. It's on the offensive line, I would say, majority of the time in that situation. If you throw a long pick, receivers should be coming back, but if you just the next line of defense is going to be on a pick is going to be the offensive line. Those guys got to learn how to tackle.
Yes.
Throw your body out there. You're big. You might grab a leg
careen him to where you get some more support, where there's more jerseys. At least force him that direction and make him make a move. I'd rather, instead of him, because he just went on full sprint, did a little bit of a, but he had avenues.
Mm-hmm.
There was.
No, I absolutely agree. It's just it's an exciting play. Don't get me wrong. I just I'm baffled by it. I'm like, oh, that kind of should. I feel like he should have got tackled at some point. Not 100-yard interception return is wild. Not on a quick slant or something like that, where it's just he's gone. But I got to again.
Your
just
bet's hurting.
Plug.
Your bet's hurting.
Yeah,
it's not looking good. Let's be real.
Burning some money.
I have to plug my computer in again. What a great producer. But you guys, I do want you to talk about the Illinois IR spot right now in this year currently. I mean, we have a lot of injuries to talk to. I just say just pick a couple and that you want to go off. I'll start you off with Joe Burrow. What does that do to Cincinnati?
They lose all hope for any playoff chances, period.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they were. I mean,
they were struggling.
Man signs a contract like that and then plays like trash and then gets hurt. Not necessarily really changed much. I mean,
hold on, but another IR though that's worth noting, and I ran right in front of the camera. What an amateur! Is Andrews going down for Baltimore now? Baltimore is playoff caliber team. They're going there for the AFC. That could hurt him because he likes targeting Andrews. Thoughts?
Yeah, that'll definitely hurt him. I mean, Andrews, you have one of the better tight ends in the league. You have a favorite. Good God, man.
Amateur hour. Aaron's going to shake his head in disgust watching this one. That's okay.
I'm shaking it already.
But no, I think
I'm ready to go home.
Showing his he's all over the place. No, but they have stats that shows I just can't right now. I'm too distracted.
I wish you guys could see what we see, and it is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, really selling ISU right now, there, guy.
Yeah, we don't want this to be an indication of the type of.
Yeah, I remember I was
you
coming
see
out of
there.
a class at Schroeder Hall, and I walk outside, and Woj is just like passed out on one of the couches in the lobby area, waiting for his class. I'm like, oh man, this man he's ready to do some studying. He's ready to.
I'll say
to
this:
get in
I
there.
really enjoyed. I never really went actually inside for the football games, but we had a great tailgate at ISU for those. We were never good, but tailgating was fun. I guess my years they were never good.
I'll say we went when I was there 2 years in a row, lost to Carson Wentz in the national championship.
No kidding. Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
James O'Shaughnessy, Super Bowl champion, tight end,
Yeah, who was the other? Cameron Meredith, right?
Wait, Wentz
Cam
is didn't he win one?
NDSU. Well, yeah, he won with Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we lost 2 years in a row to Carson Wentz's North Dakota State.
I enjoyed the basketball games there. We had a better basketball program than
Can I
football.
I guys tell you two stories? So
All right, here we go. Story time.
yeah, first year that I was at ISU, our basketball team and football team, like they have the parents' weekend or whatever homecoming for each kind of like throughout the year. So parents' weekend, I think we went to the basketball game. I don't remember who they were playing. The first half. I'll give you guys $1 if you can guess. How many points did the ISU Redbirds score
For the first
in the
half.
first half of the game? And I'll give you a bonus point if you could tell me how much were they down by for the other team. Like how much? What was their score?
26.
Okay,
18.
18. And then how much were they down?
I'm going to guess down by 12.
26.
Okay, you were definitely closer. I want to say they scored maybe like 10 points in the first half. They were 0 for 30, 3-point.
No.
They just were chucking up threes the whole time.
10 points.
They scored 10 points in the first half.
Level basketball. Wow.
And then we left it, and they were down 30 as well. So it was like you're down. Maybe it was like 28 or some shit. But I was like, okay, so you guys want to leave and do something else? So we left in the first half of the game. Mm-hmm. The football game, ISU Redbirds against Youngstown State. I remember this. They were down. They didn't score a point in the first half. It was also cold as a witch's tit. So it was cold as shit. And they were down, again, like maybe like 25 or something like that. Like just bad football, like kicking the ball out of bounds. I was like, I made it through a half of basketball and a half of football in my entire Redbird career.
Yeah, I usually just tailgate, but I went to a few basketball games where they played much better than that. But tailgating at ISU is much better than physically going to watch them, play in the stadium.
I absolutely agree. Has had much better times tailgating than.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, their tailgate is underrated. But I mean, there was no other team in the country where you can go see a lineman named the Buffalo Meat.
That was what?
One of their linemen.
You're
Or
going to have to
something.
Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, we don't fact check, but I'll believe it.
Yeah, something like that. Great name. And those years when we were there, you should have got. I mean,
Hold on.
they were
Did you guys
a
do the
great
Cherry
team.
Street thing, too? It's a
Cherry
yes, no.
Street?
Cherry Stock.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Cherry Stock was dope. I saw a
Yep.
bunch of people light a couch on fire.
They lit a couch and they ended it.
There was,
Well, you guys were the last year then? You ruined it? Way to go, guys.
I don't think we ruined it. I think they just were like, the city passed an ordinance, don't burn furniture on your front lawn. Or like, no, some like,
Don't burn.
I mean,
All right,
ISU is, it's redneck Illinois. I mean, it's
yeah, a little
not-
bit. Blown up. What's up?
Yeah, normal Illinois.
What's up?
Yeah.
All right, so let's. Dude, we could talk about ISU. We could have an ISU podcast about just, hey, this one time, man, we just
This one time in Cali. Go ahead. No,
dude. This
what's
one
our-
time, hey, this one time though, we did drink off the roof. That was so fun. Sorry. Last story. So we're talking about injuries though with the Turkey Bowl. It's inevitable. It's a good segue as well though to IR report. This kind of 12 weeks in report. I mean, there are guys that are huge going down for teams. I just want to throw some out there, get some discussion going about Andrews.
Yeah, we kind of.
Yeah, I know.
Up. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
know that you guys touched on it, but Andrews, Aaron Jones,
Yeah.
and then Justin Jefferson. And we'll throw in Rodgers because he's part of the Jets.
I think
we're
two
watching.
of those individuals though, Jefferson's meant to come back soon, and Rodgers, there's a possibility, which I don't think it's going to happen, but there's a possibility he comes back this year. But to what? Their team's going to be 4-7. Probably not even have a chance for the playoffs for the next couple of weeks. I don't know.
I mean, what do you think, though? I guess I'm trying to get a little bit more depth of with
the impact on each one of those.
Yeah, Jefferson being out for so long is an interesting thing. He's going to come back. They could be in the playoffs.
But now you don't have Cousins, so like I said,
right.
That's now. Let's give some credit to Dobbs. He came from Arizona, and he was able to put together a few wins on the first week or two.
Well, yeah, he's been on 5 teams in the last year or something like that because he was traded.
Right. Yeah.
He comes in. He was playing pretty well for Arizona, but just didn't quite fit with Murray coming back. Yeah, he comes in. He's 2 wins or something like that. But how big is it? Jefferson's been out for 5-6 weeks.
Yeah.
And they've won 5 in a row. They're winning more without him than they were with him.
I mean, but that he's going to come back. I kind of think what you're saying though is that if they're doing well before he gets back, it can only go up.
Well,
it's only going to be a positive if they make the playoff run.
Or you're saying is
coaching getting better because they don't have that weapon? They have to actually scheme and plan more,
right?
And that's caused them to. I mean, I'm not Minnesota. I don't follow them, so I haven't been paying attention. I just throwing out these random. It could be this, it could be that. If you have Jefferson, you're going to target him. You're going to feed him. And that could hide some of the other weapons you may have.
Yeah.
He goes down, and all of a sudden, okay, we don't have that insurance card. Mm-hmm. We have to actually scheme guys open. We can't just let him run deep and toss it out. And all of a sudden, you find out, these other receivers are actually pretty damn good.
You know what? I think he makes a valid point because Cousins clearly like Jefferson, and I think any quarterback would. And, taking that... What?
Nah, dude, I ran in front of the camera a couple times. I don't think anybody gives a shit about a can opening. Go.
No, I know that. But at any rate, now that he was injured, I mean, Cousins going. But the fact is, like Joe was saying, you lost that, which means you need to get a little bit more creative. You have to go back to your foundational level of plays. That makes sense. So I don't know. We'll see.
I do want to take a quick divergent because I just thought of this.
Audible.
True or false? Chicago has the worst of the head coaching in the NFC North.
Yeah, it's for about 2 decades now.
True.
No, but I'm just saying this year.
I'm saying true.
I think Kevin O'Connell has been with the Minnesota for 2 years now, but it's just isn't it so wild? The disparity of Dan Campbell, Matt LaFleur, and then Kevin O'Connell. I think his name is Kevin O'Connell. I'd be thinking of the guy from Entourage, but I don't know.
Least favorite character in that.
I don't know. Sorry, Minnesota head coach. I know you'll be seeing this. It's Kevin
That'd be cool
O'Connor?
if he does. My bad.
Connolly is the guy from Entourage.
Okay, yeah. Well,
okay.
Even still, we're going to get hate from him.
Sorry,
you were too much of a bitch on the show. There it is. All he did was complain. I've never seen someone just so...
And bang Emmanuel Sharik.
Okay,
yeah, dude, that's a huge ups for that.
But for real, dude, that could be another...
But then he complained about it. He was like, it's like, shut the fuck.
That could be, dude, one that we rewatch because I know everybody's seen Entourage.
I love Entourage.
And then maybe discuss a little bit. We'll keep that in the notes for later, though. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just a quick divergent that I just think that Chicago coaching is so much below these other 3 coaches. It's just wild that I just kind of put that together. The one that I do want to kind of end on that little segment, though, of the IR report is Aaron Rodgers, though. Because you said that he could be back in a couple weeks. Didn't he tear his Achilles? That's a year out, right?
So, yeah, but the talk is that, Waddle, baby.
Dude, Waddle is
so he was already talking about wanting to come back, and a lot of doctors and previous players said,
don't do it.
There's no way in hell. And then others now are saying, if you do, it just proves the myth that you actually didn't tear it fully, and this was all just, fluff for the ratings and whatnot.
Like a story.
Yeah, it's a storyline because there's no way you actually fully tore it and are coming back this quickly.
I do tend to trust doctors, right? I mean, that's usually the consensus of hey, if you can't do it. I also wish that we had Ryan on the podcast. If you didn't catch it earlier, he's coming back next week. He's just taking a bye week off.
He has a bye, yeah.
But no, he tore his Achilles or did something to it at least. He didn't get the confirming of the scanning, but he said it was I tore it. You can see the ripple of the thing and all that. It's just if he comes back, I don't think, as Bobby said, like 4-7, you're gonna
like what?
No, I mean he's not even gonna be next week. It's gonna be multiple weeks. You could be 4-10. Like,
yeah, I'm just saying the benefit does not outweigh the cost. There it is. You know, winning a game or two because you came back and you're still not playoff bound. Who gives a shit?
Well, I would assume that the Jets would just simply be like, you're gonna come back next year if there's no playoff chance. Like, why would you risk a re-injury in this?
I wouldn't allow it as management. I'd be like, absolutely not.
Well, this is why I do truly hate Aaron Rodgers, though, just for the diva mentality of like, I mean, this is something where normally you tear an Achilles, you're out of the conversation. People, they'll mention it on the broadcast, but like realistically, they're just like, and Aaron Rodgers towards ACL. Okay, moving on to the, X, Y, and Z, the game. You know what I'm saying? They don't mention it so much.
You come back the next year and everyone's like, oh yeah, I totally forgot he missed last year because of this. You're done. You're out.
Okay.
See ya.
Kyler Murray, with that same kind of, if we're on that same like level, because Kyler Murray got hurt and he came back for Arizona, do you think that he is any substance as a quarterback? I'm just curious. Do you guys think he is a decent quarterback that could bring a team to the playoffs?
Okay, that's your definition of what you're.
Someone let's say fresh start. Kyler Murray, is he that guy could bring you to the playoffs?
I'll go first. I'll say yes, but I don't think that he will have a long career in the NFL just because of his size. He's just too small in my mind to.
Should play for the Oakland Athletics. 4th overall pick by the Oakland Athletics.
That's right.
What position would he have played in the MLB?
Second baseman, middle infielder, somewhere. I can't remember exactly, but he was 4th overall pick, and he said, I'll come play, but I just want to go play one more year of college football. Played really well. He was up for the Heisman. I can't remember if he won it that year, and then he's like, all right, the NFL drafted me, so here's like $4 million to the Athletics, like for my contract. I'm going to go play NFL.
I mean, do you think it's one of these stories? This would be a cool Kyler Murray
if he like goes back to
the MLB when he's like 38.
Russell
37.
Wilson almost went back. Russell Wilson was playing. He would play preseason ball with Texas while he was playing with Seattle.
Oh, I kind of wish that Russell Wilson would go play MLB right now.
There's a few of those, especially quarterbacks.
Manning, Brady, they were both drafted in it. Aikman.
Brady was drafted in the MLB. There's no way.
He was going to go play.
Check that one.
There's a picture.
There's no way.
I don't check shit. I have a computer here, but I'm not.
Wasn't Aikman the one that kind of started? He's like, if I get drafted by whatever team, I'm not playing. I'm going to go play. Or Elway.
You're thinking of Bo Jackson.
No. Elway said it.
Elway.
They had the whole documentary, the 30 for 30 on it. It's a great documentary about like he did exactly that. They drafted him. He said, I'm not playing for you. I'm going to go play in the MLB. And then turns it, flips it, goes to Denver. I mean, his history. Fucking Elway is the man. And now I love that he's the GM of. No, I'm sorry, not Elway. John Lynch, right, is of Denver.
Yeah.
No, John Lynch is San Francisco. Sorry, I'm getting.
No, but Elway is not the
I thought he was the GM or something like that of.
Part owner or something. He's with the team.
He has some involvement, but he's not like running the show.
Okay, I wasn't that far off though. I was like, I know Elway is kind of there in some way, shape, or form, but
I'm still sore about that. Favre should have went back-to-back Super Bowls. So,
well, Bobby, you got one.
I don't care. We should have got the other one too.
Mr. Part Owner, you can be good with one.
I'm not. I'm not satisfied.
Okay. Dude, I do want to wrap up here real quick with the fantasy playoff update.
Sure.
Let's see where you guys are at in your leagues. We kind of touched on it a little bit before, but before you get to that, sorry, dude, I did forget to mention here, very first episode, which hasn't come out yet. So I said that I could make a 45-year-old field goal in the NFL. I still believe that I could.
No.
Okay.
Not.
We were playing some Turkey Bowl last Saturday. The boys, Jeremy's friends, were playing, and I kicked a good one. It could have gone 40. Who knows?
You said in the NFL.
Well,
it's got to be high enough to get over the line, to get over the defenders that are jumping.
Yeah, no, but even still, I'll give him someone who's like 6 foot, not even putting their hands up. No, there's no way. There's no way.
Dude, I think it...
Without getting hurt?
I know, right?
No.
Without getting hurt.
Dude, if I kick a perfect shot and my leg just snaps off, I'll ride out on the sunset making it.
As long as you make it.
That
Just make it.
Simpsons episode or the Russian kicker, like his leg flies off and double kicks the ball.
Yeah.
That was great.
Dude, but I mean, that's the way to go out. If the next like week that we record in the podcast, you just see me with a bandage bottom out of the leg. I did it.
It happened.
So you're willing to lose your leg for some dumb, semi-drunken,
let's be real.
like random field goal that you're going to kick in some field?
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe if you're in the last game of the year in front of 100,000 people, then it's worth it. But
Virginia just needs to sign me up. Virginia, I know that you're watching this, so here's my plea to you.
God.
Sign me, baby.
Wow. All right.
He is NCAA eligible.
Rants. Why don't we just wrap this one
Dude,
up?
we just keep talking to the fans out there. You don't know if Virginia's a real big fan. But yeah, sorry, fantasy playoff updates. We went on a tangent, so we're actually going to hold that for the next time. Sorry.
We went too deep on that. That's
we went a little off the rails, but you know what? It's what we do here. We like to weave and wob.
Look at that. First half possessions, punts and ints. Way to go, Jets.
Yeah, I don't know,
All
man.
right.
This one,
This
knows?
one's a boring
Bobby,
game,
I want to
yeah.
throw it over to you. Give us a sign off, man.
All right, we'll see you on the third segment. You guys take care. Go get yourself a drink.
All right. Peace. Okay, and we're back for the third segment of Fantasy Football Journeymen podcast. We got a real barn burner happening. Jets are down by a bunch, but wanted to welcome everybody back because we know that you're watching.
Third segment.
To the third segment. Thanks, Bobberino.
Yeah.
But before we do get into
Good
everything,
dropping.
before we do get into everything most serious there, I forgot to mention, Joe and Lauren, you hold the Windy City Kitchen YouTube. It's an awesome
Yeah,
channel.
walk us through a little bit about what you guys do. And,
I love it.
Your YouTube channel, so those people watching could subscribe as well.
Well, we got two. Yeah, my wife and I run them. Nothing big, but our first one was the Windy City Kitchen, where I had originally planned on creating some more cooking videos and kind of how-tos, but tiny ass apartment, trying to figure out angles and everything. It wasn't the greatest setup.
Mm-hmm.
So it really kind of folded into more of a review of like restaurant and recipes and food items, specialty items from different stores. But new apartment, new setup, going to try and work the angles better so I can make new videos. And then we also have another one called More to Explore with the letter 2, where it's more
number
like
2, but yeah.
number 2.
Yeah, there we go.
I just agreed with it. I was like,
Arabic symbol too.
whatever.
Okay.
But that's more of a like travel. So like our honeymoon, our vacation.
Where'd you go on your honeymoon again?
Cancun.
Okay.
But we stayed at 2 different resorts. So we kind of reviewed the resorts so that, if you're traveling there, like we have Vegas, Disney.
Yeah, dude, I
all
honestly
that.
will tell you, I honestly enjoyed the channel, though. The Gordon Ramsay one, I watched that one. That was pretty sick about the opening day of the...
His restaurant in Chicago.
Gordon Ramsay Burger in Chicago, downtown.
Burger.
Yeah, we were there opening day, and we met... she's on Hell's Kitchen. She won it years ago, Chef Christina, drawing a blank. But
Who cares? We don't fact check.
We got to meet her, and she sat down with us for a minute, and then it was opening day. It was awesome. That one's up to like almost 80,000 views, so we rolling.
Dope. Yeah, go check it out. I'll put it in the description and all that stuff. So first part of this last little bit ski is we were talking tight ends, and just overall, I mean, it's not a surprise. They're down bad. I mean, overall in the league, just not.
Yeah, there is a drop off after the first top 5, right?
I mean, even the top 5 are not scoring like, you expect a tight end to have. I mean, Kelsey's an anomaly usually, but even him lately, I mean, he's having like 6 catches for like 60 yards or something like that. Just not fantastic numbers here. But we do want to throw our top 5. I mean, we can just kind of maybe do top 3, but maybe
let's take Kelsey out of the equation.
A discussion though of like, let's just say discussion of the total 5 or total, like, 10 or so. Just kind of give us some talking points on each of them. Kelsey out. I'm gonna put Andrews. If we come to him, we'll circle back on.
Yeah, Andrews recently getting injured. Yeah,
but I mean, dude, I'm looking at like Dalton Schultz. I think of him as a great tight end for 2 reasons. Okay. One, he's kind of more agile, which I think is beneficial in today's NFL. Is just like an agile tight end. You can get between, a couple linebackers and go for like 15, 20 yards. That's great. Second, Houston seems to be throwing the ball a lot because they're either down or in close games. So I do take that into consideration. I don't just look at like the fantasy points, like, hey, top 10 fantasy, these are the best tight ends in there, out there. Because like Taysom Hill is on that list, right? Of like most.
Do you consider him a tight end? I don't.
Boo this man. I don't care. This guy sucks. All right. Every year.
He's not a tight end. Call him anything but. Like, he sets up as a quarterback more often than I think he has a slot receiver. Like, tight end is the last of those 3 that I'd put him as.
He lines up at so many different positions that he should just have not a
no
actual
distinction.
Yeah. Like a utility player. Put UT up. Or UP on there.
Yeah, or what they tried doing with was it Nard Spahn, the guy from Michigan? He was just playmaker when he was on Jacksonville. That goes back to what you're saying earlier. The depth chart. The depth chart is just something visual for the data freaks to really mine, because a lot of those players move around. You have a number 1 receiver, and sometimes they're in the slot. Well, slots are technically like.
Are you saying the positional chart more than the depth chart? Because I think the depth chart
where they're ranked on depth chart. Like if Taysom Hill is the number 2 tight end on New Orleans, like he has to be placed somewhere. But really, those don't matter.
No, I think you did kind of hit it on the head, though, is that the depth chart is really for, like, again, these people that are, like, very, this is going to be the next guy up mental. Like, these people go so far in it. I think it's just simply something for when you have an injury, this is technically who should be the next person. But then even so, you will see a third-string tight end get catches before a second-string tight end. And then I'm like, then what's the point of the depth chart? Like, it makes no sense if you can just play whoever. Ball can go, obviously, wherever. So, I don't know, man. It's just the Taysom Hill thing perturbs me.
All right, but can we move past that and maybe talk about a different tight end? You guys have been on that Hill train now for a bit.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about people that I don't like, Bobby.
Oh, my God.
Okay, I'm just kidding. We can move on.
I mean, no, Joe mentioned Hockenson, and I would agree. I think that...
Top 3? I'll give it top 3.
And then, hold on, I got a lot of gruff for this, and I don't consider him top 3, but I'd say top 6. Ingram. Why is it that Ingram isn't on that, on that chart? You tell me. Yeah, scroll.
I mean, well, because it's based on points.
14th overall.
So Ingram doesn't have a lot of points, but as a tight end positionally, like what he does for the team, I think he's a great tight end.
Okay, 14th. Who's in front? I'm curious. Like, name some.
You got to talk to him.
Name some people that are in front. Like Njoku.
Not you.
Njoku and Goddard are the ones that
Whatever
are 12
for
and 13.
Goddard. Whatever for Goddard, though. Whatever. Okay.
I just don't like why. Okay, Bobby, when you're saying whatever, what is your like actual issue?
His
with
impact to the team. I think having Dallas Goedert on your team does not.
Okay, so timeout. We got to take a. I'm sorry, Bob. We have to take a timeout. Joe is simply listing the people who are point-wise ahead of him.
I get it.
So stop taking into account anything else.
Technically, points here. Technically,
I have the glasses on, so I can do it.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, I guess I'm considering the position in an overall sense of things rather than, oh, great, there may be a vulture in the red zone. That doesn't make you a good tight end. Sorry.
I absolutely agree with you, but you have to understand the context of the list is just simply saying fantasy.
You're right. We're
points,
talking fantasy, though.
This is how much they are. I mean, that's the namesake of the podcast, but I do like the argument, though, that a tight end could be listed at 14. I think Evan Ingram is overall a better tight end than
Goddard, I would.
Other tight ends on that list. That's unequivocally true about any position.
But you're right. Points are points.
Well, because then you're bringing in the fact, too, if you're looking at a tight end position, half the time they're blocking. That moves a guy like, well, as they were talking about it last week, Mercedes Lewis. Guy's going to have 3 catches all year for the Bears, but yet he's one of the best blocking tight ends.
Yeah, he's a great blocking tight end.
He's been around forever.
Green Bay had him for a spell.
Does that automatically bump him up then to like top 10? Because even though he can't catch the ball because he's 100, he can block? when you look at when you throw Hawkinson and Kelsey and Kittle and these guys in the top tight end category,
these are offensive.
You're talking
playmakers more than
playmaking ability with the ball,
right.
able to get open out downfield. You're not talking about who's the best impact blocking tight end because that could
there's no
on a
stats
good running
for
team
that.
Be worth more than a Dallas
Right.
Goedert or a Logan Thomas or Joku or something like that.
You know who I like for players on the rise that I think are going to do great in the coming years? Kincaid and Kmet. I really see both of those individuals starting to really blossom in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, this is the downfall for Kmet for sure because Allen's a young dude. He's the quarterback for Buffalo. He's gonna do well. He's gonna end up being good for a number of years. Whether he's in Buffalo, whether he's on a different team, what have you, Kmet's gonna be quarterback dependent right now. He's good. He's doing well with people who, he's had a carousel of quarterbacks. But if he goes to a team that's just unfortunately like quarterback's another mystery, the the offensive coordinator doesn't like to throw the ball to tight ends or whatever, I could easily see him going down. So he has to get either Justin Fields has to continue to be the guy, like consistency, or he has to go to a team with like maybe he upgrades and goes to a I don't know, what's a good throwing quarterback to tight end? Like, who throws to tight ends a lot as a quarterback? I can't really think of one in the current NFL.
I mean, if we're just looking again at the pick that.
Jesus Christ.
Woo, more points than Miami defense. If we're looking at, again, just looking at offensive production, fantasy, that's what I got pulled up here.
Yeah, we're fantasy journeymen.
Cole Kmet, you're saying we need to improve. He needs to move to. Cole Kmet's the 6th scoring tight end. He's number 6. Mm-hmm. So when you're saying like go to a better tight end situation, I mean, there's only 5 tight ends that's
the reality.
Than he is.
That's the reality. I think the tight end eventually in certain leagues change it to a flex.
Yeah, I'm gonna extrapolate and then also segue into Bobby's comment right there. Is that Joe? I'm saying you're saying that yes, he is the 6th point getter this year, but overall tight ends have gone down quite a ways. Like even the top getter right now, I bet you compared to last year, which we don't have the data, we never will. We're just assuming.
Right.
I'm sure that the tight end last year, number 1, was much better in terms of points at this point than whoever's number 1 right now, which I think you said was Hawkinson.
Yeah, I mean, Hawkinson's at 128 points.
Remember think of Kelsey. Kelsey, the last time this year, probably had...
I'm going to dial it back. I'll dial it back like a little bit. A little bit. But Gronkowski was going number 1 in most people's drafts because of his contributions as a tight end, and he put up mad numbers. And he was still relevant all the way through even Tampa Bay. So, I mean, there are those freaks. I'll call him a freak because you don't get that type of performance from most tight ends. I mean, Tony Gonzalez, you have, like top ones. You got Tony, you got Rob Gronkowski, you got, who's the dude on the Chargers who was amazing? Antonio Gates. I mean, small handful of really, truly outstanding, offensive performers.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, man, that there have been these outliers of like, hey, this guy can score just like a running back, just like a wide receiver, quarterback, even like rivaling some of the crappier ones those years. I just think it's more of a general comment on the fact that like the tight ends overall have not been great. And then even if there is an outlier, like I would say Kelsey was kind of that freak of nature last year. Got so many points. And
Kittle hasn't been playing as well as he could, though, too.
Everybody else has now gone back to like, you are in this grouping of people where there's like one good like tight end out there. And it's only like that in the tight end position. Mm-hmm. And running back, wide receiver, quarterback, at least, kicker, defense, you can look at all of them. There's always a good skew between of them, of like gradual point increase to the point where like, hey, now you have a guy who's like, this guy is scoring well.
Like I guess predictability in points too. I'm saying, you're like you said, there's a sharp drop off after a certain threshold of players. Whereas, if you don't have this running back or wide receiver, you're going to expect something, and it's not going to be, But
there's also a lot less of them, and there's a lot less opportunity for them because, I mean. You have basically one receiving tight end who's going to be out there.
You're right.
I mean, you don't really often see 2 tight end lineups.
Packages. Well, I like the 2 tight end package.
If you do, it's usually a blocker.
Yep.
And nowadays you have a lot of running backfields that are splitting. Mm-hmm. And it's not like, you have that one guy that's going to carry it 30 times every round or every game. So tight ends, you have a much smaller opportunity.
You have a narrow window. Yeah.
Who do they have to compete with? The three
Everyone
receivers
else,
that are also
yeah.
on the field.
So this, I guess, kind of confirms my argument, though, of like, or helps my argument, though, of like, a lot of leagues that I'm in are like, yo, we should get rid of tight ends. And I'm like,
Make it a flex, yeah.
but I could see it kind of going either way, okay? And that, like, okay, if you want to go with the flex, just want to be higher, more points in the league, that's great. That I think a lot of people want that, but I also like that there's a little bit of skill if the tight end core is corpse, CORPS. That's for the football fans out there.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. But if the tight end core is only, 32 strong, and it's not even that, it makes it much more like impactful of like, hey, you need to select a tight end. I don't like the guys that just select somebody and then they're like, well, I don't know why I picked him, but then he ended up being good. Like, I like to be beaten in fantasy by somebody who's like, I actually picked these guys. It's not just like a random, hey, I just, drafted this guy 14th overall. He's my best player. Like, oh, I just, shot in the dark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I read you. Yeah.
I don't know. Tight
That
ends,
message
man.
lands. I get it.
Tight ends make me mad. Yeah. But moving on.
Yeah.
Too many jokes.
Yeah, I know. Right. I was just waiting him to run out of gas on that
Dude,
one.
I could literally talk, for 4 hours right now.
You've lost the audience, but all right.
Oh yeah, like the audience is staying up.
Are 12 people watching this?
Dude, I can't. I kind of want to see what a live stream would do.
Oh my God!
It's just like one person who's really bored as shit. Like, I was playing Madden, so I flipped it on.
We would have had the perfect live stream opportunity 2 weeks ago if you didn't have that family party live
Yeah,
from the Thursday night tailgate would have been.
Oh yeah, are we segueing to that?
Interviewing all the people walking by drunk as hell.
So Joe's
fun.
absolutely correct though, because coming soon, probably before this video is even up, as a teaser here. Joe and Bobby went to the Thursday night game. I wish I could have gone, had some family party stuff, but they were our reporters on the field, or like gave us a nice pregame. You guys should have done something at the stadium though. That would have been cool.
It was the day before Veterans Day, or that Veterans Day weekend. But
yeah, let's do this.
I'll let Joe walk us through.
I was going to say, give me the whole breakdown, because I was supposed to go to this
Joe,
game and didn't really.
Well, yeah, that was the plan was I had off of work on Friday, and I figured if some of you guys did, and it'd be easy to get off. Because I live basically right next to Soldier Field. So I was like, yo, just come down. It's Carolina versus the Bears. Tickets are cheap as hell.
Yes.
It's cold. No one wants to go. But at the same time, it's also Thursday night, and it's the one game on. And so sure enough, we head over there. Eventually, I'd come back from work. We had some pre-games. We walk over there, and it's kind of empty. Like, okay, well, it is Bears-Panthers. And
It was actually nice out. It was like 55. It wasn't cold.
Wasn't
Nice
bad
night.
for November 9th, something like that, right?
Yeah, the 9th. And then, very quickly, it just flooded in, and we're like, wow, like, surprised this game really filled in. But
Because we thought
it's Thursday night. Like, it's
he had a
one
friend.
game,
He had a friend who was working security detail, or he had access to lower level seating or like club suite. And we were going to try to hook that up, but there were so many people that, like, legit at the end of the first quarter, place was packed. And then his wife was working also in one of the suites, and I had a friend of mine,
Yeah, I don't know. Let's keep it under wraps.
We'll keep it under wraps.
We don't want to share, but
we have a
nice
friend of
talk.
mine that was
was a
able
friend.
to help us out in terms of, getting food or drink while we were there. That's
Let's
all.
just say it's a nice hookup.
Yeah, it was a nice hookup.
We didn't get
Yeah.
any food.
Yeah,
But-
it was a liquid diet.
But no, so like what time then for the 7:20 game or whatever? Like, did you guys get in the stadium early? I mean, Soldier Field.
We got there, about
man.
an hour and a half, or maybe just shy of an hour and a half before game time?
I think it was a little closer than that, even.
Maybe? Okay.
Yeah, we had kind of talked about what we wanted to do for pre. There's some bars in the area. One bar in particular, Reggie's, 18th.
Shout out to Reggie's.
Shout out.
Give you, they got a nice little like spread. You get a whole buffet.
Yeah,
and
we
then you
did-
get a shuttle to the stadium and back from the stadium.
We didn't do that, though.
We
But you
thought
guys-
about
you're
it, we were
that
throwing
close.
these ideas, but
Yeah.
since I was so close, I'm like, let's just walk over there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 10-minute walk to the front gate. Let's see if we can get in there as early as we can and start getting these free libations going.
Yep.
And then we just kind of walked around the stadium a little bit.
Yeah, we actually met. There was who's the
Garrett Wolf,
Yeah, Garrett Wolf from Northern,
NIU
right?
alum.
Oh, yeah. I know
Yeah,
exactly
Chicago
what you're
Bear. He
talking
was
about.
there
Yeah.
signing. There was
That's pretty cool.
There was a bunch of different kiosks as well because, like I said, Veterans Day, and there was a bunch of different fundraising opportunities and different organizations that were there for non-for-profit. So, we were walking around the concourse on the outside checking it out because I haven't been to. I guess here's a history. I haven't been to the new Soldier Field. I'm a Packer fan, so I've never really seen it because I've never really cared or wanted the opportunity to go check it out. But it was a great time.
Didn't it open like 100 years ago?
I'm saying the new
renovate.
one.
You're talking about.
I'm talking. No, I went to the old one before the renovation.
He's
I'm
talking
saying
about before the
UFO one.
Before the renovation.
When the UFO got added.
When the UFO got added, I have not.
But
been.
that happened a while ago.
I know, but I still, like I said, I haven't caught myself there.
But you're a Packers fan. That makes sense that you wouldn't be like, hey, I've gone to 40 Bears games. No,
and honestly, I get it. Like I said, it was a great opportunity. We had great sights.
Hey, Bears won.
Yeah, Bears won. A boring game, but Bears won. We had a great, just a really great time, man. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and again, you got some on balcony reporting, which I loved. I'm gonna put it.
Yeah,
up.
we got a small video prior to going to the game,
and then I do just before we switch over to the last little wrap up part here. I got a line on some tickets actually for New Year's Day, and we were talking about that.
Ooh.
So we could be having some possible updates, fun stuff from that game too. So we'll keep you posted on
New
that.
Year's, man. It's gonna be a cold one.
You know what? Not for nothing, but United Club is it's the greatest.
If you're in the suite, I wouldn't
We're in the
worry
United
about
Club.
it. Okay, then.
We did the fire game, the United Club. When
Okay, then, guys,
we were like second,
totally
second
different.
row. But then
And-
you just bump inside where it's warm, get some
Dude,
drinks.
and check this out.
It's a totally different experience. Totally different.
You got the parking pass then also to do underground. Granted, driving into Soldier Field, like any stadium, is a real kick to the pills.
Yep.
But it's still underground, at least a little bit better than walking 40 minutes out to your car. It's frozen. Then you're like, all right, we gotta wait.
If anyone's been to Soldier, though, I guess this is for logistics. You have museums around you, and there's one street in, one street out. There is no real good accommodations for parking. So,
well, that's why they're trying to move to
Right.
a better where they can have an actual parking lot.
That's why you just live next door and you just.
I know this guy lives.
About it.
Which
He has the planetarium. He's got the field museum. He's got everything right there within a stone's throw.
Which
It's
again,
crazy.
that's why we'll talk turkey later.
Talking turkey.
Thanksgiving drop.
The last part here is we didn't talk about this in terms of the last segment, but just a little kind of recap on like where are you at? This is technically week 12, right?
Yes.
So where are you guys at in your fantasy football leagues? Like, are you in the playoffs? What do you need?
Oh yeah,
to
we
get
kind of
into the
glossed
playoffs?
over that. Yeah, 2 out of 3 I'm in playoffs. I'm 8-3, and then the other one
Okay.
4-7.
That's
and
good.
Like I said, I don't want to go too far in this. We did talk about it a little bit, but I have the third most points, for, second most points against, and I'm 4-7, and it's just crushing me because every time, I put up 156, the guy puts up 187. It's like, you got it, just.
Yeah, I mean the way that points against and points for, I get a lot of flack in my leagues because I always put up the least amount of points and have the least amount of points against me, and I still somehow, keep winning. I think I said that right. Least amount of points scored, least amount of points against.
He keeps winning.
Right, and I keep winning, and people got a problem. Joe, you're in the league. I mean,
I am.
But before I switch it over to you, because I do want to hear your thoughts on this, because again, most people give me shit about it, but I'm tied for first in 1, definitely going to make the playoffs. 2, I'm iffy on. I got to pretty much win this week or next week for sure, and probably some help. And then the last one, I've been a dumpster fire. I've been 9th place all year. Probably will finish there. But go ahead, give me your take on the points for, points against debate first.
It's not like real sports in the sense that the points against is something you have a say in.
Right.
A defensive player, you're looking at real sports and you're playing a game, you have some say in how much the offense scores against you. Mm-hmm. You don't want them to score, don't let them. But in fantasy, it's not like you can talk to your defense and be like, hey, don't allow them to score so much, because it's a complete crapshoot. So I think the points against, it's fun to look at that stuff, but ultimately, so what? I've heard of, and we talked about it in previous discussions I had as commissioner of the leagues.
Oh, you're a commissioner too?
I'm still the commissioner. I was the commissioner of that league.
Yeah,
I'm still the commissioner.
You used to be a commission, then I have taken over.
I used to be a
as
dual commission.
The commish, but
I've even talked about some people who are in leagues where every week you play every single team. So every team in the league plays each other every single week. So you just basically look at, okay, all 10 teams in this league, here's the points for. That's all that matters.
That's
because you had the most points this week, you win this week, you win $100.
Oh, that's crazy to think of.
So you pay like $10 a week.
Yeah.
And it's if your team has the most points that week, you win the payout.
That's
and that way it doesn't matter necessarily what the other you just got your team has to be the best that week, that's it.
Yeah, no, I kind of like if the people who are in that camp that are like, hey, this really matters, those people I should feel like now I can say like, go do this and you'll be super happy. I like this style of fantasy where you play each other, I think twice. No, I'm sorry, you play each other once in a 12-man league, and then there's always one team that you play twice. That's usually how it happens. But
can I pause real quick? We got one performance thing that we should bring up. Bland from I think that's it. Bland from Dallas, I think, tied the record for most.
Got the record.
There it is. I think that's worth noting. Against Washington, he had a pick 6, and that's what his 6th one.
5th on the year. He's got his 5th pick 6. And did you see the return on that?
I saw it. Yeah.
He's juking guys out there like it's mad. Like I've done that in Madden.
Dude, yeah, he pulled out the Madden, the right shirt, whoa.
Yeah, the little juke step side, It's just like, dude, Dallas is good, but we were talking about this, and this is kind of what we'll finish up on here, though, is like Dallas as a team, in my opinion, is like you're a great regular season team. They're always doing, 7+ wins, 8+ wins on a bad year. The playoffs is where they always just seem to like lose out of
Joe
steam.
had that good stat. You bring it up about the 500, teams.
Yeah, I don't know the exact deal.
Again, we don't fact check.
Yesterday or something after. They haven't beaten a team that's 500 or up. Like all year.
Okay.
All year. I think all their wins are sub 500 teams. So it's like, yeah, they have this great record and they have all these wins, but who are they playing?
In reality, you ain't done shit.
Yeah, so now, I don't know their schedule, but all of a sudden, let's see, we got 5-6 weeks, and now they're playing teams that are 6, 7, 8 wins, and let's see what happens.
And then when you get to playoffs, you're playing 500, plus teams. Like Dallas is always they say America's team.
We them boys.
I think it's a fun team to watch always because they bring in good talent always. They're always like a solid team, but. Again, remains to be seen. We could be eating these words like in Dallas wins the championship. I got to come back on and be like, oh, great.
I'm going to have to make some apologies if that happens because I've been shitting on them in the playoffs for years.
We have to make so many goddamn apologies, but we'll do it at a future time. But
I just want to call the Bland thing out. That was pretty cool.
It was solid.
Yeah.
It was good. It's worth mentioning when there's a record being set. That's fucking awesome.
And the guy is talented.
All right, but that'll do it. I love that Joe stopped in to
guest panel,
grace us with your presence, man. I do appreciate the insight.
Go check out his YouTube channel. Like, subscribe.
Windy Sitting Kitchen, it'll be in there. And the other one.
More to explore with the
number
name? 2. More to explore. 2. Yeah, there you go. And
that's explore.
That's with him and Lauren.
2 beers deep. So,
and that's the travel podcast. Travel YouTube channel.
Yep.
All right.
Travel channel.
All right. Adios, amigos. We'll see you in episode. I think this is 9, so we're going to see you in 10.
Wow.
We're still
our 10th.
We're still coming at you. All right. Might do something crazy, but till next time, Joe, give me a sign off. Live down in infamy.
You put him on the spot. Go ahead.
Yeah, put me on the spot there.
We'll go down in infamy.
Well, let's keep watching this. Miami's going to score it up, and they're going to take us into the hell of a lot of games on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be some good stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
So to all you fantasy footballers out there, good luck. Unless you're playing me, then I hope your team fucking sucks.
Fantasy football journeyman out.
Take care.